when we talk about content marketing, it's always, and that's typically German, it's about Hamburg. Yes, we're at home. It's first, and that's typically German, first we have to define it. So if you're looking for a definition, this is Wikipedia, it's a short definition, then there is a forum of content marketing, which is a longer definition, and then there is another association giving a much longer definition, and everyone is competing about the best definition, and no one has a real definition. We, in our agency, we make it quite short, so we call it appreciation for attention. So that's what we see our work is for. There are companies we've seen which are already acting like publishers, and after seeing the ISPO, we should have better put the ISPO here. Oops, oh, that's good to know. Here in the middle, so that was one of the best cases I've seen so far. But what about the users? I mean, the attention span is so short. It's shorter than a goldfish. And on the other hand, there are more than 10,000 messages a day which are addressing the users. And there are different moments of truth. We see micro moments like Instagram posts, tweets, snaps. We see all the usage formats like news, tips, and how-to. And on the other hand, the long form, we see on YouTube videos longer than 10 minutes, which are gaining a lot of usage. And so the main point is you have, when we're talking about branded content, you have to bring together the user benefits and the brand topics. And then if you match this in the right way, then you can gain good results from content marketing. But why should you talk about content marketing, or why should you do content marketing? And we say, because there's a content dividend. And I give you some short examples what I mean by that. This is a blog post by Kelly Mann. It's about to wean a toddler, and 2 out of 3 top scores, which mean 25% of the whole traffic, go to this blog post, which is 5 to 8 years old. And the equivalent, the media equivalent for this by Google would be 50,000 euros per month to gain, just to display this traffic. Another example is Bubble. Who knows Bubble? So Bubble is an app for training languages. And they use a magazine, a digital magazine, mainly with videos. This guy is talking 7 or 8 languages he learned by Bubble within one video. So he's changing the language the whole time. It has several million views. And Bubble, as many other startups, is purely performance-driven. And they saw that betting on content on their magazine using content recommendation like Outbrain is performing much better than normal display. One of the best examples, which was awarded last week by the EFI Awards, is Die Rekruten. Who knows about this project? So for them who don't know, the Deutsche Bundeswehr, the army, has a problem because they changed the system. So now you can apply, or you have to apply for being in the army. It's not longer that you have to be in the army, and so they had to come up with a campaign to gain new people in the army, and they came up with a YouTube series. Displaying or showing the daily life of the first recruitants. And this campaign is so successful. It started on YouTube. Of course, it was supported by media and so on and so on. But at the end, this campaign gained millions of views, millions of copies by classical media. And so far as I understood, I tried to figure out the right figures, but they rose the applications for recruitants by 20% within 1 year. with the whole campaign. And this was purely content marketing. We are running, and this is our own only example I show you from our company, we support Mercedes-Benz running a platform called myvan.com. We started this 10 years ago. At that time it looked like this. Now we pimped it a lot, and I will show you some figures to say, okay, we gain a lot of, we have more than 1,000 content pieces, we have a lot of content impressions. The retention rate is great, and if we count altogether the videos shown or seen by the audience, it's altogether something like 12 years. This is if we talk about actual things. It's like the time of Angela Merkel, which will maybe not longer work for 12 years. So that's Angela Merkel im Amt, 12 years, and let's see what happens. And content marketing can be so much fun, and I will show you why. Oops. This is the video.
Ist eher hart, ja sicher, alles ist hart in den Bergen. Und genauso auch der Fußball.
Ich habe mit dem Franz den steile Fußball erfunden.
Weil das, was die in Frankreich machen, nur auf dem flachen Rasen, das kann jeder. Das sind Weicheier. Wir im Montafon, wir spielen nur noch in den Stellchen hängen.
Steil mögen wir unseren Fußball, weil steil mögen wir auch unsere Mägen.
Hart, einfach hart.
So, we came up with this video. Because it was the European Soccer Championship, and Mercedes-Benz was not the sponsor, so we had to find the right time and the right topic, and to combine this van with the soccer and to play it. And the soccer field was 45 degrees, and that's exactly the was heißt Steigung? Whatever, the slope the 4x4 van can drive, and that was the whole idea. And it went quite well. We had more than 25 million views. It made it even, the whole video, like you've seen with the van and so on, made it into the Japanese breakfast show, and they did not cut out the car. So they showed the whole video as you've seen it today. Another topic is, and that's, now we come back to the figures, is editorial sales by the Deutsche Bahn. They have an editorial platform called InsideBahn.de, and at the end, what they want to do is they want to gain sales. Everything is about, at the end, it's about reach, but at the end, they want to sell tickets, tickets for the Deutsche Bahn. And we can see by each article how many sales revenue each article or each visit on an article generated. So the topic or the challenge is to have a great reach with a lower amount of media spending for Outbrain or Facebook or whatever, to have a better engagement for a low content production price to gain good cost per acquisition. So that means what we need is for content marketing, we need a complete ecosystem, which is combining the topics, the content format, and seeing the performance part. And what that means from our point of view about CMS will Alex tell you now.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm kind of the technical sidekick in this lineup here, and caught a little cold. When we talk about requirements towards a content management system from content marketing, obviously the same things apply to other users of content management systems. We heard a lot about what CMSs can do, and for small, mid, and large-scale projects, one or the other aspect of a content management system is needed. And since this whole day is about the capabilities of content management systems, I thought I'd hijack my few slides and talk about one certain aspect that is especially important when you are producing content. That's that you want to have good usability of your content management system. During the last months, I ran into this problem a lot and saw in different projects that content management systems have grown so much in complexity and power and complexity that they are in danger of breaking together under the weight of what they can do, actually. Well, that's not a good situation to be in. So you have to tame the beast. You have to somehow achieve good usability for content editors and content managers to be able to live with a product for a longer time. Otherwise, you will be running into a relaunch situation where you're only relaunching your project because of the CMS failing its users. Not the end users, but the people that are producing the content. But we are in the middle of a shift that might help us with this problem, actually. It's a shift from the, back in the day, first frustration of a web publication that is responsive web design, where you had to learn that you never can be sure how your content will look for your end users because they have this variety of devices they can use. And now it's something like a vague new shift to digital ecosystems. I bet you all are perfectly in the picture what that might mean, but even smaller projects, smaller clients, think about these, about digital ecosystems. At the moment, I have the possibility to work together with a real estate bank based in Germany, which perhaps is not a company that is top-notch digital, but the person I'm working together on client side is completely digital ecosystem aware and wants his content to be long-lived and available for different users. So the user story on the top right is actually from this very person. He thought about his slideshows, which is a small part of websites, slideshows everywhere. And he told me, when I put together a slideshow with nice images, I don't want to construct that twice for 2 articles, but I want to reuse it. All about that, about content reusing. That is a situation that can help us build better CMSs from my point of view, because it urges us to really think content first. Content first is a mindset that you have to have using content marketing or building good digital experiences. But now it strikes the CMS business, because with all the different channels our content might end up in, you can never tell how it might look. I think the biggest lie of a content management system of the future is the preview button. In this little example, it's the preview button of WordPress, because how can you preview something that can be everywhere if you're doing the thing right? Huh? You can preview a web page, but you cannot preview in the same time the Facebook post that is connected to the thing you have just created, or how Alexa will read your content, which is a bit of a problem we ran into in one particular, or is related to a problem we run into in one particular project, where we had teaser information for certain articles. And then all of a sudden we found out that teasers for web pages sound a bit dull on Facebook posts. That's obvious. So you have to have another tonality. And that is something that Alexa will urge you to as well. Like when you are asking Alexa for the news of the day and get the Spiegel news, these sound very irritating, because it's only the teaser text, obviously, from their web page. So you never know how your content might end up in, and that forces you to think about semantics of content, which in fact might help us build better CMS implementations. From my perspective, the best tool for editing content might be this little fellow down there. It's Microsoft Word. In fact, it's a much better tool than most CMSs are. Would you dare write large amounts of content directly into a CMS? I don't know. If you have a good CMS, perhaps you want to do that. But most of the time, you put your student, intern, or someone else to the job that copy and pastes things into your content management system, because, in fact, at the end, these things look like that, like these 20,000 pixel high, huge web forms that somehow bury your content inside them. I mean, if you take a look at this thing, what is actually the article that is in here, and what are other related content formats? And if you want to to get a particular slideshow out of this thing, you cannot. So it comes down to semantics, and not doing the thing like that. That's something that is very often the go-to solution, building a component stack to edit an article. But this tightly couples all the information in this article, well, with other components in there. So what about a particular piece of text that I want to feature on Facebook? And what about the user story of the client I already mentioned? How about the reuse of slideshows? You know all that. But to get a clear solution for reusing content, I think thinking about a multi-channel approach and thinking about the semantics of your content is a good solution. So it's not stacking paragraphs or components, it's building entities of semantically independent content pieces and then linking them together. Which means that you do something like, well, first it's the principle of do one thing and do it good. Be a good content editing interface for a quote, a slideshow, or whatever, and only that. Yeah, and then the second thing is inversion of control. do not use your content management system as a design tool for articles, but only as a management tool for semantic information. So it's not about design. These CMS implementations are very fragile because when the design changes, you have to throw the whole thing away. And I think content editors do not need a thing like that. Actually, all markup inside content, all particular formats inside it, make it decay more quickly. It's something like mold if you put together too many things in one entity. So we are connecting things together and not putting them all in one pile. And well, discovery, we heard about how to use search mechanisms is a very important thing. And then we are trying to do something like automatic design at the moment for one project. So let the several channels figure out how things should look and not impose this capacity on content editors that might not want them. That's it. So we, for content marketing as for other purposes, I think semantic CMSs are the go-to solution.
And to make it more simple again, this is my part, and that's, I take three things for our work. And the first thing is, that's what all the idea of Thunder is, collaborate to get better things done. While doing this, fail better. When I talk to clients, I always say there is not only one solution, and we have an idea and we will try to make it, but we can also fail, but we have to fail better. This is what we can do if we collaborate. And as we've seen, soccer, alpine soccer, you have to have fun with the job. That's it. Thanks.
Join the Thunder Coalition now. Spread the word, contribute, and benefit.